Alright, so we're getting ready to swap out the suspension on this second gen Nissan Frontier with that of a Titan truck. And as part of that, we got to do extended brake line. So I decided to make a video showing how to do this. And I've done this successfully on the other side. But other than that, this is my first time doing this. So if you have any suggestions, if you see me doing anything wrong or anything that can help out, make sure to comment on the video. Now here's what we're doing. We're switching out this brake line, which is this brake line here. And we're putting in a longer brake line. This is from PRG products, and it's a stainless steel braided brake line, which should help brake a little better. Now, why do we need to do this when we do the Titan swap? Well, here you can see this is not the Titan swap yet. This is a 3-inch lift, the PRG advanced lift with the upper control arms. You can see it's already a little bit tight, and not too bad. But you can see if when you turn it, there's almost probably right at the limit of the slack that you're going to need. When we add the Titan swap, this arm is going to give us a little more droop, so this is going to be able to come down a little lower, and this is not going to be enough. It would rip this rubber hose out. So basically we're going to replace this hose here with this longer hose that will allow the wheel to drop down a few more inches safely. Alright, so let's explain a little bit more what we're going to do here. Basically, this brake line attaches at 2 points. One is at the caliper here with a 12mm bolt. It's a special bolt, but it just comes out like a normal plain old bolt. And then at the top, there's a 10mm flange nut here. Now, to get this flange nut out, you really should use something like this, which is not your normal box wrench. It's a special wrench which just has this little slot there that fits over the hard line and then right in there. These do strip very easily, so you really want to use one of these. I mean, it's possible to get out with your normal wrench, but you got to be really careful. So these are a few bucks at any auto store, so get yourself one of these. The other thing is this clip here. There's this normal clip that holds the brake line, the hard line, and the brake hose to this tab right here, and so you'll need to take that out as well. Now the problem is that the brake lines do have hydraulic fluid in them, and so we want to try to avoid losing as much as possible. And you don't have to worry, it's not under pressure, it's not going to fly out or do anything weird, as long as you don't have the car on and you're not pressing on the brake pedal. But we don't want it to drip out a lot. So first of all, what you really want to do is fill out your reservoir. Just open up your hood and fill it out at the master cylinder just to have some reserves in there. We're going to lose a little, not much, and we're going to do it in a certain order and ways that we minimize how much is lost. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this clip so we can free the stuff up here. The easiest way I find to do it is just grab a set of pliers and grab it at the side. Don't try to pull it like this, or some people jam a screwdriver. I like to grab it by the side and then just rock it back and forth, side to side, while pulling back, and it comes out pretty easily, just like that. Once that's out, this basically freezes to move up and down, and that's just going to let us work a little bit easy to put the new line in and stuff like that when we actually get there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is get ready to take this off down here. I really don't want to lose a lot of fluid here, so first of all I'm going to put a bucket underneath here. I don't know if you can see, I'm just putting it right here to catch any of the hydraulic fluid that might drip out. You're going to have fluid coming from two places. One is this line right here, and then when you actually take this bolt out, there'll be fluid that is actually in the brake caliper that's going to come out. We want to try to avoid losing it much. I'm not going to be reusing this line, so I don't care if I damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp it. You can use vice clips. I'm going to use a C-clamp and just clamp it down. It's not going to stop the fluid, but it's going to at least minimize how much is lost and let us work a little less rushed. So get it in there nice and tight. Again, you probably don't want to do this if you plan on ever reusing this line. I'm not going to reuse it, so I think the C-clamp is going to work fine. Once we've done that, we just take a 12mm socket wrench and we are going to remove this right here. So we loosened it. Get it out. And you see as I get it out, it's going to start dripping a little bit, but it shouldn't be too much. And most of the dripping is going to come out of the caliper, and you see the hose barely drips anything. So we're okay there. We're going to leave it hanging there. We have our bucket. Now, two things you're going to notice. When it comes out, careful about these copper washers. There should be two. One is on the nut and the other one goes on the other side. These are what is used to seal this. Technically, shouldn't reuse these. The service manual says that you should always change out for new ones. I went to the auto store. They didn't have them in stock. Typically, you're okay to reuse them, especially if they're in good shape and you only take them out once. I'm going to reuse this, but if you do reuse them, check it, make sure it's not leaking, and if it does, make sure to switch them out with new ones. These look like they're in good shape. It's a fairly new car, so I'm just going to reuse these. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is attach the new brake line here at the caliper. We're going to do this before we remove this brake line from the top. The reason for that is that we want to be ready, as soon as we remove it from the top bracket, we want to be ready to plug this one in so we don't lose a lot of fluid. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this end, it's going to go right here. It doesn't matter which way it goes, this way or this way. I just find the way where there's usually a natural curvature you can use, so find the way that's going to follow that so you don't have to twist it back. So the way this is going to go is you're going to use this nut, this bolt, I mean. Make sure that you have the copper washer there, and it's going to go through this fitting there, and make sure you put the other copper washer on the other side. Again, technically you're not supposed to reuse it, so if you do reuse it, do so at your own risk. And this is very easy. It's just going to go in here. I'm going to hand tighten it as far as it will go. It's a little slippery. And then I'm going to figure out how we want it to go. I'm not sure. Obviously, if you put it like this, it'll probably give you the most, but I don't know if you need that. So I'm going to put it a little bit like that. And then once I actually get the tighten swap in there, I'll make sure that, you know, it's not tight on a full droop. So you really want to use a torque wrench here. The service manual calls for 13 foot-pounds of torque. So we're going to do that. So we're going to use the torque wrench. Make sure it goes slowly and smoothly until it clicks there. And that should be it for the bottom. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this flare nut up here and disconnect from the top. Now, as we do that, as soon as we do that, we want to be ready to put this back in so we don't lose a whole lot of fluid. So we're going to keep this handy. We're going to use the wrench that I talked about earlier and just slip it on that brake line. You'll notice you want to hold this up so these tabs lock this into place so you can just turn the flare nut up there. These can seize up, and you might have to use a torch if it's really rusted or something to loosen up that rust and take this out. If you do use a torch, just make sure these are disconnected first. And maybe remove that clamp or something. You might have to drain your fluid because you don't want to build up pressure and have it blow up in your face. This is a fairly new truck, so it's not rusted yet. I can probably get it out pretty easily. So we're going to take it out, and as soon as we take it out, we're going to try to thread in the new one by hand really quickly, just so we don't lose. Make sure the bucket's down there. We don't lose a lot of fluid. There we go. So I loosened it. Let's see if I can. You can twist it down here. Be ready with this. And just quickly try to get that in there. And just hand tighten it. Once you hand tighten it, it's not going to loosen a lot more fluid. So try to hand tighten in there. Now you really want to be careful with those threads. They're easy to cross thread, so just do it by hand. Make sure it goes in nice and easy, so you get it in there. All right, so once you have it hand tightened in there, it's still loose, as you can see. So what we're gonna do is put this clip back in, and what you do is you put it under the little grooves there, and once you get it kind of started by hand, you can kind of tap it in. You kind of be careful it doesn't fly out. There you go. So everything's nice and snug right there. Now the torque rating for this nut up here is 12 foot-pounds. I don't have anything to measure with that. 12 foot-pounds is really not all that tight, so I'm just gonna snug it up and go a little bit more, but definitely not too tight. If you want to compare, it was 13 here on the bottom, so if you want to feel how much force that was on your torque wrench, make sure you're about this far out when you test that. Make sure you tighten it, but definitely not too tight. You don't want to break this. You might have to hold this bottom here. That's probably good enough. Once you actually fill it up and bleed it, you want to make sure you check for leaks. Make sure everything's pretty good. So that's pretty much it for swapping out your brake lines. Now you do have to bleed the system before you can go out and try it out. I'll do a separate video on that. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any comments or if I did something completely wrong. I really appreciate it. Thanks.